Hello everyone, I'm Lao Ye. The book I'm sharing with you today is called The Story Factor by Anne Simon. This book will teach you the art of storytelling. Stories are one of the most primitive and powerful tools of influence. Stories have an appeal that makes people want to hear them. Stories allow us to connect with others on a deeper level without being criticized. Stories allow you to convey what you want to the other person deeply. Stories make others more willing to believe in you and let you inspire their ideas. Stories are a universal language, and almost all children all over the world have heard fairy tales such as The Three Little Pigs, Snow White, The Wolf is Coming. Humans are born to love to listen to stories, and a good story is more likely to influence others than a dry recitation of facts. Stories are also a repository of meaning and information. Neurologists believe that 70% of what we learn is stored in stories. When we turn knowledge into stories, it is shaped into wisdom and stored in our minds forever. Stories can be used to change a person's mind because they reframe a person's definition of something and change our perspective on something. Stories are more powerful than facts because a person's actions depend on how they define something. If you give them facts that violate their beliefs, they will choose not to believe, delete, or distort the facts. So if you want to change a person's behavior, you have to change their definition of things. In this respect, the story is more effective than the logical fact. So what kind of story does it take to effectively influence other people? This book gives us 6 story themes that will allow you to influence others effectively. First, the story of who I am. We all tend to trust people we know and are familiar with, and without trust, no one will want to listen to you. And the story of who I am will allow you to quickly build trust with the other person. A new friend, Xiao Xiang, told us a story. Several years ago, while he was studying in Japan, he had to retake a course for the whole semester because he was late for an exam, which resulted in him graduating later than his fellow students. Ever since that happened, he arrives 10 minutes early no matter what the occasion. Xiao Xiang, through his own personal story, truly shows who he is, much more persuasively than just saying I am punctual. Secondly, why I would narrate this story here. The theme of this story is to alleviate people's doubts about you. Hao Ye was a surveyor for new car market research, and he had to knock on doors every day to find new car owners for interviews. Because the whole interview process took an hour, even when he found new car owners, he would often get rejected. Until Hao Ye started informing people before each visit, I'm conducting this market survey about new cars because, to ensure that you are satisfied with your new vehicle, I am trying to find areas that can still be improved to enhance its quality. I use stories to explain my intentions and why these intentions exist. The response rate went up from the original 10% all the way to 95%. Thirdly, I'm going to tell your story. This story theme is aimed to make others empathize with you. A CEO of an advertising company never said that our goal is to cultivate and create artists. Instead, he analogized himself to a modern Van Gogh and repeatedly told Van Gogh's story to his employees. The office is also adorned with Van Gogh's works, fueling employees to join in becoming eccentric and quirky artists. These stories and actions ignited everyone's work enthusiasm, letting the employees understand what was originally an abstract vision. Fourthly, stories that inspire others. When Hao Ye was previously an insurance salesperson, the mentor didn't directly explain the importance of sharing experiences but shared a past friend's story with us. Once his colleague shared with him, expressing that, because he was driving, he felt there was no need to bring an umbrella. As a result, once during a client meet, he parked his car in an open space. It happened to heavily rain, and he didn't bring an umbrella. He had no choice but to brave the rain to see the client. Wet and bedraggled, the client saw him, and right away turned around and ran, wasting a prospect to create a transaction. This story made rookies realize how imperative it is to absorb other people's experiences and learn from others' mistakes. Fifthly, a story that brings out action values. Stories can allow you to convey their crucial values. Let the other party think and experience for themselves. Saying that we value honesty, these 4 words are completely meaningless. Rather, tell a story about an employee who caused the company to lose millions to cover up his mistakes, or about a salesman who gained more trust and orders from customers because he admitted his mistakes to them. Stories like these can inspire employees to value honesty. Sixthly, I know the story you're contemplating. If you can tell a story that makes the other person feel as if you've read their mind, they will definitely fall head over heels for you. If you have done your homework, indeed it's not difficult to have such a story theme. First, you need to identify the points that the other party might disagree with and want to rebut. There was a speaker who began his talk by telling his audience that he was an actuary, so the next hour would be the most monotonous hour of their lives. He used a self-deprecating story to dispel resistance, as if he was reading our minds, thinking it was going to be a dull speech. Okay, now you know these 6 types of stories that can influence others, but you might ask yourself, am I a good storyteller? Maybe you think it's not easy, like asking a group of adults if they can draw. If you were now a 5-year-old child, you surely would confidently say yes, no problem, but now you are discouraged. This is unfortunate, but it's not unchangeable. Storytelling is one of the most valuable skills to help you influence others. In fact, everyone can tell a story, and your life, your experience is a story that you can perfectly interpret. So, telling a story is not a difficult task, but a joyful and rewarding practice. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like and share it. If you haven't subscribed yet, get to it.